Okay, hi everybody. I'm now on page 96. I'm skipping to the last piece in the unit, and it's called Quadrille by Haydn, who was a classical period composer. And our last piece was Schubert, and that was an écossaise, and I failed to tell you that an écossaise means Scottish dance. It's a French word for Scottish dance, written by a Viennese composer. So Europe was a big conglomerate back then, and maybe still is. This is a quadrille, and if you think of the word quad, it means four. So it's really your original square dance. This is where square dances originated, and the French, as always, invented all the great dances. So they called it quadrille. So it's the French word for basically a square dance. This one is in 3/4, and it starts with an upbeat. So I would get confident on the rhythm first. 3, 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, off. So that's your right hand rhythm. You can see that the left hand is just plugging away the whole time on staccato notes with just chords. Please look at the second full measure in the left hand, and it says left hand staccato sempre. Sempre means always, so we are always going to play the left hand staccato for this entire piece. So even when the dots disappear, you're going to keep your staccato going. And if you take a look at my hand here, that G7 chord, instead of playing it the way we've been playing it, we're playing the D, F, and G, which is just another what we call voicing of the same chord. It's still G7, but a new way of playing it, and C. And I have really good news. That's all that happens in the left hand, just the C chord and the different voicing of that G7 chord. So I'm going to spend the rest of the time looking at the right hand. We start with a little extension. So you're going to extend, put your thumb on the G and put a 3 on a C. And notice if you could just squish down all 5 fingers on the notes that you're on, you'll see what we're talking about of preparing a sixth. So here's how this sounds. Slur. 2, 4, 1, 3. There's also a new little sign on that measure I just played. It's a little dash over the half note, and that is called a tenuto, and tenuto just means to play with a slight accent. So it's a little bit of a slight emphasis or accent on that note. Sometimes it kind of implies a slight lengthening as well. So the right hand's definitely the trickier hand. It has a lot of articulation, while the left hand is just doing staccato the whole time. So therein lies the greatest challenge of this piece, is putting the hands together, that they're not doing the same thing at the same time very much of the time. So I'll play that first section and you can hear what I mean. It sounds easy to do, but it's actually very challenging to play the right hand, all the proper drop on all the slurs and lift, while the left hand is just lifting all the time. So you might exaggerate the lift and the drop to get the feel of it. I'm going to go ahead and play the rest of the piece so you can hear what it sounds like, but again, work on the right hand independently. And if you look at the overall structure of the piece, you're going to play that first 2 systems of the music twice. See the repeat signs? You go back to the beginning and play that twice. And then from the upbeat into measure 9 to the very end, you're going to play that section twice. So the piece is twice as long when you play the full structure of the piece. So new concepts are tenuto and different articulations at the same time between your two hands. So you're definitely getting a lot more advanced when you can master this piece. So take your time and go very slowly, especially with the articulation, and have fun.